The following is an episode of the Brian Brawdy Show, and listener discretion is strongly advised. Because if you're easily triggered, outraged, offended, maligned, mortified, insulted, or otherwise verbally injured, if you're constantly looking for a bubble, a safe space, some training wheels, or some water wings muffined to get through your day, take it up with a therapist. I'm not your shrink.
Thanks for listening to the Brian Brawdy Show. It's time to mortal up.
Good evening once again. Welcome to the Brian Brawdy Show, episode 523. We like to call it around here, Kick the Shell. Miss Putnam, good evening. Hey, right back at you. Thank you for joining us for what will be our final PM television show, or television, radio / YouTube / all that. You know what I mean? So we've been doing the show now for quite a few times at the 7 p.m. time slot. And, you know, all the brainiacs, the corporate office, everything else, everybody got together and said, okay, so what are we going to do? If we're serious about doing this, we've got studios in 2 different states. We're busy trying to learn how to do this right. So let's take full advantage of what we're doing. And we voted, and now we are moving to noon Eastern, right? And a lot of people going, well, Bri, you know that there's a lot of, Salem has their things at noon, and you're up against this, and you're up against that, And what is it? I call it QVC for conservatives, whatever it is, that show where every 5 seconds it's another commercial. They're trying to sell you something. So in any event, we're going right up against the big guys, which reminds me, a very, very special thank you to the good folks at IPMNation.com, because way back when, 523 episodes ago, just prior to that kickoff episode, I had a chance to be introduced to Matt, the big wig over at IPMNation.com. And he said, what's the worst time slot you could think of? What do you want? Absolute, right? What's the worst? And he goes, just make sure you don't pick that time slot. And I said, why? What's the worst time slot possible? He goes, well, 6 a.m. I go, 6 a.m. East Coast? He goes, yeah, just a horrible time slot to try to fill. And I go, that's exactly the one that I want. And I imagine him going, what the heck is wrong with you? Probably tried to hang up the phone, right? But Jen had set up the call, so I'm sure he was just being gracious. He goes, can I just ask, why would you want the worst time slot in the history of radio? 6 a.m. And I said, well, because I intend on being number one, but if you give me a really comfy, a really cherry, a really cozy time slot, no, everyone's going to say, well, you only got to number one because Matt gave you the best time slot. So what I want is the worst, the horrid, a time slot that people loathe. He goes, all right, you're on your own, 6 a.m. And within a month's time, I believe we were number one on the platform. So we're always up for the challenge. I want to thank the good people at IPMNation.com for clearing out some time. I need to thank Wayne, in addition to thanking you all here. Our numbers on YouTube, our numbers on Facebook, even our numbers on Spitter. Nobody likes us on Spitter. Even our numbers on Spitter are growing. They're growing over at mortalup.com. Of course, as you know, at Radio Bri. And none of that would be possible, obviously, without you all. And also without Wayne in the Counterpunch Media broadcast, like the main brains of the thing in Michigan, the Michiganders. But Wayne runs the whole thing from up there. And, of course, I needed his sign-off before we go to start competing with the really big guns at noon Eastern. We're going to give it starting Monday. It'll be an hour, and then we're going to go to 2 and possibly 3 hours, hopefully maybe before the end of the year. But we'll be moving right to that time slot. But so I want to thank everyone that's joined us and helped us get to where we are in the 7 p.m. time slot. And to be honest with you, Wayne, it's going to be a little easier. Maybe Miss Putnam, we could, she has some delicious-looking food pictures she posts. But we won't have to have her send us dinner anymore, right? Because we won't be eating so close to the dinner hour. Wayne, what say you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Like last night, I was eating my dumpling soup.
Your dumpling soup. Only because you're my role model. I like to follow you in everything you do. That, coupled with the fact I was going through the drawers today looking for a document, and I found, I'll show this. Where am I? Oh, I'm over here. I found a Christmas gift, Christmas stocking stuffer, my favorite candy bar, Toblerone. So I'm going, well, wait a minute. If Wayne can eat during my riffs, I'll eat during Wayne's riffs for our final 7 p.m. show. We're fired up to be doing it, and I have Toblerone riding shotgun with me. All right, Wayne, what else is going on in your world today, or do you want to jump right into it? I know we got some cool things going on at Mortal Up to Come.
Why don't we just jump into lowlifes?
All right, why don't we, let's, you know what, Wayne, let's do that.
Lowlifes making headlines, or as we like to call it around here, brains that make your blood boil. Here's your brittle brain atop a balsa wood spine for today.
Well, let me just say that's technically only half true. Here's your brittle brain atop balsa wood spine for today, but technically it's a competition, right? So, today's Lowlife's making headlines. By the end of the day, you will have helped us pick. We will have picked. Head on over to mortalup.com. You can vote in the poll. You will have helped us pick Anthony Vermicelli. No, sorry, not Vermicelli. Anthony Scaramucci, and I'll tell you why, or George Stephanopoulos. Now, before everyone goes, Bri, really? Lowlife's making headlines? Now you're doing height jokes. You took the two people shorter than Tom Cruise, and you threw them into a Lowlife's making headlines thing. Why? Is this a height joke? No, I wouldn't stoop to that level. And even if I were going to do height jokes, right, who would bring in Tom Cruise? Who would bring in Top Gun to the whole thing? All I'm simply saying is you have the option of choosing tonight our Lowlife's making headlines, and then Wayne will get the certificate and send it out. I think we've tweeted them both today, telling them they're in their running, seeing if we couldn't get Spitter to shut us down. It's one of these two to complain, but all we've heard all day long was nothing, actually. So why are these two people in running for the top slot tonight in Lowlife's making headlines? Of course, Anthony Scaramucci, is saying, oh, well, our one of our former favorites, Steve Scully. Well, I don't see how the cancel culture, it's wrong that they let Steve Scully go only because he lied through his teeth, tried to throw somebody else under the bus. I'll tell you who should be ticked off, Wayne. Hackers everywhere should be tipped off.
Oh,
right? Because you're giving hackers a bad name.
Absolutely.
Right? So if you're this Steve Scully guy, good evening, Candace. Nice to see you as always. If you're this Steve Scully guy, and I want to ask, maybe people even here in the feed can comment on it, Wayne, I want to know, how is it Steve Scully gets popped because they do an investigation, find out there's no hackers, but wait a minute, Joy Reid over at MSNBC, she doesn't get? So if you work at C-Scam, right, like Scully did, you work at C-Scam, which will be the new title over on our Media Mania logo. We should work on that. If you work at C-Scam, they let you go if you claim hackers. But if you're Joy Reid over at MSNBC, apparently you get to throw hackers under the bus. Like, what self-respecting hacker would hack an account of a guy who's getting ready to moderate the presidential debate? What hacker worth his or her salt would hack account and then send a 5-word, one-sentence message to Anthony Vermicelli or Scaramucci, right? I don't know. For some reason, Vermin just pops into my mind every time. Anthony Scaramucci. So that's why he's on the list tonight, because he says, oh, well, the cancel culture is just out of control. So let's do this. Before we get to why George, you love him, Stephanopoulos, whatever his name is. Before we get to George, let's do this quickly, and then I'll come back and tell you why George is in the running up against Anthony.
Celebrity voices impersonate. That's amazing. It's uncanny. It sounds just like me.
It really does. I don't know where we found that guy to do the voice, Wayne, but it's something else. Candace says, ooh, Savannah. Yes, you're right. We could have put Savannah, but we'll get to her in a little bit, right? We've got some other things to talk about, Miss Savannah. And then if you want to talk to us about last night's town hall, you know what kind of synced it for me, Wayne?
What's that?
They give Biden a nice big comfy chair, and they make President Trump sit on a hard wooden bar stool.
Absolutely.
Right? So here's my question. And then I want to get back to why it's, what's his name? George Stephanopoulos. I want to get back to him, right? Forget about the comfort of the chairs. Where's Trump's handlers? Where's Trump's people going, get us a damn chair? We're not sitting on a bar stool. What are we, a bouncer? At a local tavern? Get us a chair for the president to sit in, right? That's a bar stool. Where are his handlers? Who are the people that put up with NBC's crap? And again, we'll get to Savannah. But here's why George Stephanopoulos makes Stephanopoulos, why he makes lowlifes making headlines for tonight. You have to admit, right or wrong, Wayne, what was the biggest news story in the last 48 hours, would you say?
Oh, the Hunter Biden.
The Hunter Biden story, right? The FBI, the laptops, all the emails suggesting that there was some collusion between him and the Chinese and the Russians and the Ukrainians. And, of course, everything went through his dad, that kind of thing. So pretty big news story. Twitter shutting everybody down. And, Wayne, you got to give us credit, right, for our last night here. As Candace says, tacky trash. Our last night here, you got to give us credit. We predicted yesterday that this could blow back on Twitter and Facebook. And now subpoenas are flying. Twitter is changing the rules. Jack's on the hot seat. You know what I mean?
Yep. And
yeah, that's all I'm saying. Hey, right back at you.
And there's a very good chance they're going to lose their protection.
I would love to see it. They should have to compete just like news organizations anywhere else.
Yep.
I think it's fair. They should do it. But here's the thing. Biggest news story. And George Stephanopoulos doesn't think to ask one single question. I mean, you keep hearing this a question about, does President Trump, and what's the denounce? Like, that's a big word. It's 2 syllables, right? Everyone's using it. Do you denounce? Oh, learn how to use the English language, would you? Denounce. What a bunch of dopes. But in any event, do you denounce the absolute vile, just disgustingly void of any type of intelligence, white supremacy or those groups or anything that has anything to do with it, right? Do you denounce them? Well, he gets asked it all the time. So here's why George is in the running tonight with Anthony Vermicelli. Scaramucci. Here's why he's in the running. Because in that whole thing, forget about interior decorating. What am I, a feng shui expert? You put Joe Biden in a chair, so what? Who cares? You put the president on a bar stool. Who cares, right? Tomato, tomato. I'm already past that. But what I want to know is, as a television news reporter, you don't ask the person you're interviewing in the town hall, you don't ask him about the single biggest news story of the 48-hour cycle. You don't ask him why Twitter and Facebook shut down all discussion. Forget about freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly when you think about your tweet being able to assemble in the feeds of like-minded individuals. So it's freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom. It's a bit of a stretch, but you'll be able to ask Justice Amy Coney Barrett before too long, right, if it's freedom of assembly as well. But now, here's the question that I have. You don't ask former Vice President Biden one thing about Bunter Hyden? Not one question, right? Not one question, which makes me think, wait a minute, what's going on? If they're so worried about how he would answer, they're like, oh, don't ask him that question. Don't ask him that question. But you can ask President Trump the same questions over and over and over again. Savannah's show, let do what she likes, be as combative as she wants, right? She's no Chris Wallace when it comes to being combative, right? But ask any questions you want. But couldn't George have said, hey, Mr. Vice President, can you put to rest, can you denounce once and for all the New York Post article? Can you, it would have been great if he said, can you denounce once and for all YouTube cutting the Brian Brawdy show feed because he talked about this scandal? That would have been nice, huh, Wayne?
Absolutely.
Do you denounce this? Do you say enough? I've had enough, right? No. But do you find it interesting? Instead of coming out and saying, absolutely not true, no, it was not our laptop. What do you get from the Biden campaign? Right? Biggest story in 48 hours. Oh, no. Those pictures weren't ours. Oh, or use Steve Scully's line. We were hacked, right? Instead of, look, are those pictures? Are those emails? Did you have a meeting? Right? Can you deny any of this? And for the first time in the campaign, he's wishing, good golly, I would only hope they'd ask me about court packing. Then here's the one. This is the one that makes me think we're on to something here, right? Now, I don't know. Who knows, right? I'm not in the in. It could be totally false. It could be totally fabricated. I'd hate to think that the New York Post would do something like that, but right? I tend to believe in them. This seems well-sourced. It seems like they track down a bunch of the different things. But here's the question. And they have what? How many attorneys do you think the Democratic Party has? Like how deep do you think their bullpen is? Getting ready for the election in a couple weeks. How deep do you think the Democratic parties, or for the Republican Party that matter, how deep do you think their bullpen goes with attorneys waiting to refute every election inconsistency, Wayne? How many attorneys do you think each campaign has on staff? 10, 20, 100, 1,000, 2,000, across the country.
Enough
How many
to fill
attorneys,
a couple of rooms.
Enough to fill a couple of rooms. Big rooms, like L.A. Coliseum.
Yeah, probably.
All right? Big rooms. You mean to tell me nobody at the Biden campaign, nobody can say, we're sick of our attorneys. That's defamation. He's a private citizen. He's not running for public office. My son, Bunter Hyden, doesn't deserve this. I'm going to take 450 attorneys in one little room that we have over here, and I'm going to go after, and I'm going to sue them. I'm going to sue them for libel and slander. I'm going to sue them until my last day here on earth. But guess what we get? Right? Now, if someone said that about me, I'd be all over defending myself. Right? You wouldn't hear any crickets coming from me. Candace says, see the picture of him passed out with a crack pipe. Same old stuff, different day. These people are relentless. Don says, at this point, everyone sees through the media bias. Biden gets softball questions and Trump gets grilled. Candace says, same, just more asterisks. I get where you're going with that. Oops, that's okay, Candace. No reason to apologize here. Say and text what you like. So that's my question, Wayne. With all the different things the Biden campaign has coming up, when it comes to that question, this is the answer. Last time I promised, this is the answer we get. Hey, what's going on with Bunter Hyden? All right, let's do this quick little thing, Wayne, and then I'll tell you a quick story about law enforcement and why I think everyone's on to something here.
Portions of this broadcast have been pre-recorded.
Why? Because you can't get these people to hit a call time. They're the worst. Nah, I'm just kidding. We love our guests.
All right, so now this is going to get me in a lot of trouble, Wayne, but what do I care? It's the last time we're going to be doing evenings, right? So then people can send emails to you and complain about me. Back in the day, I always thought that when people say, play that cricket one more time, throat punch, you know what? It's not only amnesia. I'm actually harassing myself now while I'm online. Because Brian Brawdy, Mortal Up. Hey, and let me just a quick shout out to Facebook for once again correcting the name there. Great job, Marky. Great job. Really. Fantastic job. Double thumbs up. Play that cricket one more time, we get a throat punch. See, I'm even threatening myself. So for everyone that says, Brian, I can't believe you say, right? Your hot head wrapped in a hair lip. And I go, look, I'm picking on myself. Oh my God, sorry. No, it's okay. Look, no. Not as sorry as I am. But here's the deal. I would love to get a throat punch from you. So why don't we find a way? Let's be in the same town sometime soon. All right, Wayne, so here's the thing. Back in the day when I was in law enforcement, if someone was innocent, and I'm going to get in trouble before I even say this. If someone were innocent, the last thing they did was lawyer up. I always got a fairly decent indication when you'd go to be talking to a bad guy or a bad girl. You go to be talking to a bad guy.
You mean a bad
girl.
person.
Right. Did I say guy or girl? Can I not say that anymore? Okay. A bad intersexualist, right? Right. However you define yourself, however that is, a bad being. You're interviewing a bad being, and that bad being lawyers up right away. It always made me wonder, what was that being trying to hide? Now, when you got someone said, look, I know it looks bad, but can I explain? And you give them, and you'd let them explain. You were like, hey, you know what? I'm going to use that as some evidence. I'm going to put it in a report that I don't think this person could have been more cooperative. I don't think this person could have been more forthcoming in terms of what it would take to drive my investigation in another direction. But the simple fact that you have all these lawyers and you haven't sicked them on anyone at the New York Post for defamation, for libel, right? Slander. You're going after Bunter Hayden. You go after Bunter Hayden. I'd have a whole list of attorneys going, you are going down. New York Post is going down. You'll be calling it the Biden Post by the time I'm done with you. But what do we get? Nothing. So I think where there's smoke, there's fire. You know how much I'm loath to use. I don't like cliches, Wayne, as you know. But you know what I'm saying? Oh, wait a minute. How can I get no idea. Don has just sent a very interesting little thing. Someone says that there's a picture missing. Okay, thank you very much, Don. I super appreciate that. Right? So when there's smoke, there's fire. With everything going on, how do we ignore it? That's all I'm saying. Vote for whoever you want. But I'd love to be able to get to the bottom of this, and I know it's a long way of saying that's why George Stephanopoulos, whatever it is, tomato, that's why he's in the running for Lowlife's Making Headlines tonight, along with Steve Vermicelli, and the Mooch is in our doghouse, in our list of Lowlife's Making Headlines, so we can clear our palate, get it off our chest, get it out of our minds to go on to bigger and better things. He's in doing all that because he said, the cancel culture is running crazy. No, it's not the cancel culture, right? Look, here's what I would have done, Wayne. Do you know what I would have done?
Go for it.
I know you don't have wontons. I know you ate dinner before the show. So
I was looking up for that picture.
Here's what I would have done. I would have said, as everyone has heard me say before, you can't spell Brian without the I in idiot. It was a personal direct message. It was early. I wasn't paying attention. I was eating my Captain Crunch with Boo Berries. With my left hand, I was texting with my right. And I sent what was supposed to be a private message, a joke, tongue-in-cheek, to a friend of mine. I feel horrible. It was a bad thing. It was a joke. It in no way would disqualify me from being an independent voice on the upcoming debate. So, C-scam, nothing to see here, nothing to worry about. I just feel horrible because it was my second bowl of Count Chocula, and I had a sugar rush going. I wasn't paying attention. That's a lot of sugar first thing in the morning. 2 bowls with the Boo Berries. Not plain Captain Crunch with blueberries. Boo Berries. It's all on my mind, I think, because of Halloween. But in any event, my bad. I'm an idiot. It was supposed to be a direct message. I sent it publicly. I really apologize for and it would have been done. It would have been done, Wayne. No one else, nothing. Because everyone would be going, yeah, I get it. 2 bowls of cereal, man. I'm a little sugared up myself when that happens. And it would all be done. But he didn't. He blamed another person, like James Comey, blaming people under him, right? Whatever happened to the buck stops here? No, let's just throw everyone underneath us under the bus. So that's why he is in the running tonight as well. Don't forget, you can head on over to mortalup.com and vote in our poll. Wait, I think you even have a picture of the poll. Okay, why? Because your voice deserves to be heard. Cast your vote today, The Brian Brawdy Show. Who is your choice for today's Lowlife's Making Headlines, Scaramucci or Stephanopoulos? Give us a vote. We will let you know. Okay, so I'm just getting a message in. Facebook banned a friend of mine for posting that picture. Be careful. Here's another thing, Marky Mark, right? Here's another thing. So now big tech, our social media platforms, gets to ban us, gets to lock our account, gets to do whatever they want to squelch public opinion, our opinion, my opinion, your opinion. And I don't know about you all, perhaps it was a mail-in ballot, but I never voted to let Jack or Mark over at Spitter or here on Mug Pamphlet, I never voted for them to be the arbiter, to be the bodyguards of my ears, as we call it around here, and we'll be doing a little bit about it on Monday, cognitive bodyguard. I never voted for them to be my cognitive bodyguard. I don't need them cleaning things up. Now, in fairness, I voted for George Carlin way back when. Those 7 words you can't say on TV, I think he should have been able to say them. If you don't like the words, turn off the TV, change the channel. So I'm a little bit old school when it comes to you have the right to say what you think. So for me, this whole concept of being squelched, of being tamped down because it doesn't go with big tech's idea of what it means. Oh, well, we don't publish hacked materials. Oh, no. No, we don't publish anything hacked. We can publish stories all day long about somebody's tax returns. All right, Wayne, so let's do this. Since the phone is ringing, maybe this is our final. We can do what we want. This is our final show. Why don't we take a call now before we run to the bottom of the hour?
Sure thing.
All right, groovy. Maybe it's Vermicelli. Hello, who's this?
Well, nobody's on the line.
Nobody's on the line. It was Staphylococcus. He had a better idea before. What?
I think I know who it was.
Uh-oh. Oh, please tell me it was Mooch.
Here it comes again. Hold on.
Here it comes again. Okay. Tell them I've already gotten siding. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't need. Oh, or a warranty, an extended warranty for my car, which is almost as bad as an extended warranty for my truck since I had to get rid of the truck. Too much bouncing around when I had a shunt. Wow, talking callers. I know, right?
There you go. It's giggles.
It can only be one laugh. That can only mean one thing. And then
it's giggles
whatever
today.
Whatever I say, what's the number? Oh, good one. 833-MORTAL-1, MORTAL, and the numeral 1, or 833-667-8251. Please go ahead.
I just want to let you know you're amazing.
Well, thank you, my friend. As are you. Please tell the G-Man we said howdy.
I would love to. I did watch both the debates both the town halls yesterday.
I told you, right? It's like, it's addictive. It's like you couldn't look away from a real UFO, right?
Or a train wreck.
Or a train wreck. Or like that movie about the guys that went on the bachelor party and the one comedian was driving down the highway in Los Angeles in a convertible with a giraffe when he hit the underpass. You can't look away from that kind of stuff.
Oh, yes, The Hangover, that movie.
The Hangover movies. Oh, I've never laughed so hard in my life. When he comes, am I allowed to say breasts, Wayne?
Breast.
When he comes out at the very end of the movie, the dentist guy, and while he was passed out, they gave him breast implants. Look, that was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen on TV. I'm sorry. That was probably inappropriate to say with a female caller. I apologize.
No, don't apologize. You're
so
not
what are you
going
up
to be
to,
sorry
my friend?
about.
What are you up to this evening? So you watched them both? I'm
feeling very confident. I am really super happy. I really look at the American people and all the sacrifices that we made during this Corona thing. I mean, in spite of being put in a position of basically being screwed over, we have made incredible sacrifices to let these morons basically, there's an expression, don't interrupt your enemy when they're destroying themselves.
Yes.
So I'm really proud of my fellow Americans and patriots for all the sacrifices and things that we're doing to accommodate, relieve, and do our part. I watched the town hall yesterday. The difference between Biden and Trump, Brian says hi, was that Biden was being treated with kid gloves.
All right.
Oh, yes, he was being encouraged to speak. He was being encouraged to give the right answers. I looked at Trump. You had this little chihuahua barking at anything and everything she possibly could. It wasn't a discussion. It was an attack. Here's what my thing is. I don't give a darn if I like you or not. I'm not going to bear false witness against you. Our First Amendment is definitely being under attack. And the only way to do that is by standing up and speaking your truth. So I do encourage anyone and everyone who is listening that if you're unhappy with the lies and the monstrosity and the circus, don't go to it. Start speaking your own truth, saying your own thing, researching. That's the only thing I can do. A word of encouragement.
Well, I thank you. And it was so nice to hear that you have a sense of pride and you're proud. We don't hear that a lot anymore, right? Like everyone's upset about this, upset about that. Let me say quickly, Don says, George Snuffleupagus gets my vote. Very good, Don. Thank you very much. Glad it's recorded. We have another one in, Wayne, so that we can announce maybe the winner by the end of this evening. So, Dana, I'm with you. And then when I listened to some of the things today, and in fairness, because we asked this question last night, right? And I don't want to be like Anthony Vermicelli. This Scaramucci. I asked last night, let's wait and see what the Nielsen was. Let's wait and see what the numbers were. And if you believe the numbers, former Vice President Biden drew bigger audiences than
Right.
did.
Well, here's my thing, too. You have
Right.
to look at who's presenting.
Mhm.
So, Papalopoulos or Suffocopolis or Snuffleupagus, whatever his name was very even-keeled. He was emotionally regulated. He was interesting and forthcoming and asking Biden all the right questions.
Except
And then you have
Biden Hunter,
this
the
female
Biden- the
with
Hunter-
no
Hunter
self-respect,
Hunter. Yep.
animosity, rude. She talked to the president of the United States like a dog. And I
Okay.
wanted to reach through the TV and choke her, but I don't know if you can say that. But it's like you're speaking to a man of greatness. This man is in a position and is given information of top secret clearance.
Right.
Talk with a little bit of respect in your mouth. You don't
Well,
have
you
to
know who
like
you remind
them,
me of?
but you're supposed to be presenting this information to the American public. Like the American public enough to put your own stupid opinions and feelings to the side and present the information that we need to make an educated guess. She was a dog. Of course,
Well, I will tell you,
Biden's
who you remind
numbers,
me of?
even if they
You-
are.
You remind me of the late, great Don Rickles. Don Rickles used to say this, Stephanopoulos is a professional. A professional what? Stephanopoulos is a professional. Not last night, because the biggest news story in 48 hours, he didn't ask a single question about it. Give the guy a chance to defend his own son. Ask the guy a question.
Hey, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Let-
I
let me
wouldn't be
just
surprised
clarify.
if he had the questions prior to going in. At first, he seemed really even-keeled. I would love to test his urine to see if he had Adderall or some type of pill to keep him focused. But
You're a nicer
he
person- you're a
did kind
better
of lose
person
it
than
at
I
the
am.
end, Biden. He's like, biddy. Anytime he discussed numbers, he stutters.
Yeah.
Is it
That's
3
not-
billion or 300 billion? I mean, like, get
I'm with you.
your numbers right. And he's like, and he did lose train of thought. A neighbor with kid gloves. Meanwhile, Trump is fully alert, giving the best answers he can, and constantly being interrupted, twisted, thrown some freaking crap. And I just think I don't think this was so much about the presidential candidate as much as it was as the person trying to present the information, like the chick or Stephanopoulos or whatever his name is.
Right.
Sure.
So,
Well, you know,
it's
Wayne,
a
what were you
shame.
going to say?
It's a shame that they want to do the American people like this.
Well, I just wanted to clarify one thing on the viewership last night.
Right.
On TV,
What?
on the viewership,
Yes.
on TV last night, Biden was ahead by about 2 million viewers.
All right.
But on social media, online,
All right.
Trump was ahead by about 4 million.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, thank
Yes.
you, Wayne. See, there's news you can use. Thank you, Wayne, very much. And you know what, Dana, before I let you go, what I wanted to say there was you remind me of the late, great Don Nichols. And although you had to have a particular taste, he was a great comedian, just a brilliant guy, even
Yes,
into
he
his
was.
80s. He was just fantastic. And he used to say,
Classic.
the reason I don't do slamming jokes against the president, not that I necessarily agree or disagree, but I never want to be disrespectful to the office because of what it communicates to our enemies around the world. Now, whether you believe Don was right or wrong
Absolutely.
in that opinion, that's exactly what it reminded me of when you said that was that, he's still the head of our country, whatever's left of it.
Yes.
So he was of the opinion that you should have a little bit of respect. And then, Dana, before I let you go, Wayne was right to correct me. So on TV, more people are watching. And what I'd like to know is I can't wait for CBS to do it. I hope CBS, in the interest of full disclosure, I used to work for CBS. And I have some great I would take a bullet for friends that are still at CBS. I can't wait for CBS, right, to do a town hall. Then we'll see some sparks fly. Dana, last thought.
I just want to say, God bless America. God bless my brothers and sisters globally and nationally. And God bless you.
Thank you, my friend, very much. Right back at you. Please tell the G-Man we said good night. And we'll look forward, if you can, we'll look forward to hanging with you sometime next week. But we'll be starting, as I said earlier, noon Eastern. And thank you, Dana, since the very beginning, CBS, yes, exclamation point. There should be 2 exclamation points there, Brian. I thank you for the encouragement from the very, very beginning. A lot of people don't know this. Dana was one of the first people, Wayne, that I called way back when to kick around the idea of 81 to win, what she thought about my attempt
Oh,
for the
yeah,
Guinness
that
World
was
Records.
awesome.
Yeah, she was one of the very first people I ever spoke to. Of course, my neurosurgeons were like, you and Dana are insane. You can't stay up for 81 hours. It'll kill you. But in any event, I thank you, Dana, for being there from the very beginning, constantly giving me great counsel, and we love it when you call. So thank you so very much.
All right, have a great night, guys.
You too. Farewell. All right, Wayne, so now, because other people are saying, hey, we should post in the thread, do you want to do our posting of the number, or should we just keep right on going with it?
Well, I was trying to say, did you want to do your mid or you want to
Yeah,
post
sure.
them?
Let's do a mid. Because I'd like to show Bill some love. I think it's his anniversary today. Bill Mollinson, who does the voiceover, some of the voiceovers for us here at Radio Bry, it's his anniversary today. And he's been married forever, like 30 some odd years. And when you see this guy, Wayne, he looks like he's 21. Good. He's got grandkids. He's just unbelievably a young looking guy for his age. And it's his anniversary. So God love him. Yeah, let's play the bottom.
You're listening to The Brian Brawdy Show. Why? Because you know the truth when you hear it. He'll be right back.
Sorry. Welcome back to the Brian Brawdy Show, brought to you by our good friends at Counterpunch Media and Certifiable Brilliance. It's time to buckle up. Okay, so clearly
I'm gonna have to start muting you.
I know. It's my fault because we were doing it, and then I had a text from someone, and we won't mention names, right? But I just had a text saying, if you ever say I remind you of Don Rickles, I don't even want to finish the text, but
I know who that's from.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, here's what I learned. And this particular person has been a great teacher of mine for years. And I mean, for, not to out her as being, she's still way younger than me, but this person's been a teacher of mine for a lot of years. So thank you for that text. And what she's teaching me now, even laughing, is that I got to hit my own mic button. I got to be able to turn the mic button down when I know we're doing things like that, right? Because I can't be laughing while we're trying to do some stuff. All right, happy anniversary to Bill Mallinson and his lovely wife. Thank you so much for adding your voiceover to the show, and it really is. It's great to be thinking of you today. And happy anniversary. All right, Wayne, what else is going on? Is there anything before we get into the second half of the show? Anything else, breaking news, other things that you wanted to talk about that we said we'd kick around today?
No, I was just going to bring up the phone line message.
Oh, great. Yeah, let's do that. Don't forget, you can still call us, 833-MORTAL and the numeral 1. And if you do so, we were told we had to prepare a very unique message for people that wanted to do that. So, Wayne, take it away.
The phone lines are open. Now's your chance to mortal up and give Brian a shout because your opinion deserves to be heard. Dial toll-free 1-833-MORTAL-1. That's 833-MORTAL-1.
All right, Wayne, so 833-667-8251 is the number if you're into the chicken scratch like I am. I can never keep the numbers and everything else straight. So give us a call if you get a chance. We can talk about it's Friday night. We can talk about anything you like.
It's coming in.
All right. Oh, man, that was my last bit of Toblerone, too. Must be nice to have someone making wontons for you whenever you're hungry. My stomach's growling here.
To accept, press 1. To send the voicemail, press 2. To hear the phone number, press 3.
Is that someone trying to sell me extended automobile insurance for my jet
press
ski?
1. To send the voicemail.
That call didn't come through right, so we'll try again. Hopefully they'll call in again.
Maybe it was me. Maybe I was calling myself, doing what I can to keep the numbers up. You never can tell. All right, 370,000 mail-in ballot applications rejected in just one state. That just in. There's some breaking news for you with this whole mail-in ballot thing. Something to, just something to think about. And then, Wayne, I know, did we have to do something about warning people that if they call in, their voice could be used? Did I record that today, or did I dream that last night?
Well, I am putting a post out there.
Huh?
That they can call or text live.
Right.
On Facebook when they call in, when we post that phone number.
So we have a voicemail in there, but did I record something I thought I recorded something today and sent it to you saying, well, here's the gist of it, because we really believe that your voice deserves to be heard. If there's another call on the line, you're welcome to leave us a voicemail. And then what we'll do is after the show, we go through all the voicemails. We'll upload your message, hopefully, right? We'll upload your message and play it on the next day's show. So if you wanted, Candace said, I just tried to call. So, Wayne, maybe give Candace a ring back, because I'd love her take as well as to what she thought about last evening with the two town halls. And for that matter, why couldn't they have just sat? If George was sitting right across, yes, that's what it said. Oh, all right. Well, very good, Candace. If you would, give us a try back. As Wayne says, please try again. Operators are standing by. And don't forget, if you want to leave us a voicemail, your name will be, sit up straight, take a deep breath, belt it out, and you could hear your voice on Monday's show, I would think. All right, so now the hot seats await. Big tech CEOs called. And here's something, Wayne. I'd like it if you could get a question into somebody on that Senate panel. I'd like to know from the guy from Google why YouTube cut our show the other night just when I was talking about Bunter Hyden, right?
Well, I don't think he would take my call.
I don't know. You'd be surprised, right? You and the New York Post. But I'd just like to know. I forget the guy's name over at Google who pulls all the strings for YouTube. You know that. All right, so let's just assume this phone call is going to go through, so I'll stop ranting and raving about being low on Toblerone. I got to start bringing more of this. Yeah, maybe that's what the problem is. I'm too sugared up on this really fine Swiss milk chocolate. Oh, it's got honey and almond nougat. No wonder I like it. It's from Switzerland. Is that what Tommy Lee Gifford is moving home to if Trump wins re-election? Or is not Tommy Lee Gifford? What is wrong with you?
Well, for some reason it's not working, so I'm going to give her a different number.
All right, give her a different number, see what's going on. We can hear it ringing, so that part's working. But if you would, Candace, give us one more try. All right, so we're in the closing 15 minutes of a Friday night. And let me thank the people while Wayne's busy trying to get the call on the line. Let me thank the people over at YouTube, except for the CEO of Google for cutting us off the other night when I was talking about Bunter Hyden. Or it could have been, in fairness to them over there, right? Twitter still hasn't cut me. Blocked me out with all the things I've had to say. And I'm getting a message now. Oh, Candace, there you go. Went to voicemail again. I don't understand what that's all about. So we will try that. See if we can get you through on that number, then put you on.
I just sent over or posted another phone number.
Oh, post the phone number. There's another one to get a hold of it. So, yeah, use that one if you like. So the 810-412-5. I like that, 5999. That's actually a better number. Maybe that's what we'll start giving out. 810-412-5999.
Let's see if this goes.
All right.
You're on the line.
Hello, caller.
Hello, Brian.
Hello. How are you, Candace?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, my friend, very much. So did you get a chance last evening to watch The Deliverance, the dueling banjos, if you will, the Ned Beatty look-alike contest? That's not even true. Neither one of them looks like Ned Beatty, but you get where I was going with that joke. Well, did you get to watch any of the town hall meetings last night over at ABC or NBC? And if so, what did you think?
Okay. I watched the Savannah.
Okay.
I can't say that word, show. And
okay.
I've never been so disgusted in my life.
Well, you're the second caller this evening that probably feels that very same way, my friend.
Oh, yeah. And to me, it was intentional. I noticed one thing really interesting, though, and she kept drilling him about masks,
Okay.
you know, and she had no mask on. Here she's been ill. She was sitting just so many feet from him.
Good point.
And then when people would speak in the microphone to ask him questions, she would tell them to take their mask off.
Huh.
Did you notice that?
I'm sorry, my friend. I'm a horrible human being. I didn't watch either one of them. When it gets to be 8 o'clock at night for me.
She had no mask on, but she started the mask thing.
Oh.
And then when some people in the town hall were asking the president questions, she told them to take their mask off so they could hear the question.
Wow.
But yet she's sitting there drilling him about masks.
Well,
it was just the most bizarre.
Well,
yeah,
very
I'm
good. What
kinda
else
like
did you
Dana.
think about
I
it?
should have reached into the TV and choked her.
Well, that's like I said, right? That's why we're not violent people, you and me, right?
Yeah,
but it does
and-
make your blood boil. Brittle brains atop balsa woods
the thing
clients.
is, he goes through this all day, every day of his life. This is what he puts up with. And people, you know, on the other side get all upset because, you know, he's blunt and he will say what's on his mind. Well, you can only take so much of it. You can only take so much of it. And from here on out, I say go get him.
Well, I would say to you,
I'm tired
Candace,
of it.
maybe he is. Maybe he is going after him where he declassifies all this, where, you know, he puts out. Here's the thing. I think Donald Trump, regardless of what you think of him as president, but Donald Trump, the human being, Donald Trump, the man, has kind of ruined it for people through maybe no intention of his own, but he's ruined it for regular, not even regular folks, because people will automatically say to me, well, if he's a millionaire or a billionaire, whatever he is, he's far from regular folk. Okay, but non-career politicians, no non-career politician will ever sneak up on the electorate, on the media, on big tech, on all of us, the way the non-career career politician Donald Trump did. So I guess you and I and the people listening, we're going to be subject now to career politicians. Now, Candace, and here's my long-winded question, because I always get in trouble for this. I don't think there should be the term career politician. I think there should be term limits. I think if you can only run for president twice, you should be out of the Senate in 2 terms. You should be out of the House of Representatives in 2 terms. And everyone says, well, that's not very constitutional of you. Well, then I don't care. It's not very constitutional of me. You should not make public service a career, because I think you're a grifter if you do. What say you?
Our government problem right now. These people have been there so long and have become so powerful that absolutely we can't get rid of them.
Well, that's right. You can't, because through gerrymandering.
That, but you know, it's like we're follow the money. You know what I mean? Follow the money. You can't get rid of them. And it was really bad. And I lost my thought there, but
just in terms of watching the debate last evening, it was bad, and that by the time you've become a career politician, I think you're a portion of the problem. And I get it a lot of times where people say, well, you need experience. Nah, you don't. He wasn't qualified to be president, or you need certain qualifications. No, you don't. Just a desire to want to serve for 2 terms and then get out and go back to having to make a living like the rest of us. Enough of the maniacs versus the masters.
And argue about his taxes and his finances and things like that. And I doubt she even knows what a line item is, or how the budget operates, or how they move stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Well, we wouldn't, because we don't have that kind of money.
Probably, doesn't even know. He's donated all of his salaries. Those are write-offs.
Yep.
To each month to charitable donations. She just wanted to talk about the same subjects that they've been dwelling on for the past 3.5 years, and it was like her show, her debate for her friends, and to show, I don't know, like, I really don't know how the man took it. He has to be such a strong person.
I
He
would
really
think so.
does.
And there's another part of me that said, I thought he would have gotten to the point where going, you know what? It's just not worth this crap. I'm just done. You've attacked me. You've attacked my family. I wasn't even in office yet. You were doing this. There was the Russian dressing collusion. There was this. There was that. All these other things.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say, Don says, as smart as our founding fathers were, they never envisioned career politicians, or they would have put in term limits. Don, I absolutely agree with you. And because after the fact it became the president could only be elected for 2 terms, I say you and I stop supporting people that don't promise, that don't swear, that don't sign a contract with America? I got a contract with America for you. You swear that once you're elected, you'll move to ensure term limits. Now you've got a politician, not someone that's, I deserve this. I've been in politics for 47 years. I'm qualified. By the time you're qualified to be a politician, you shouldn't be anywhere near the place, is my estimation. I think it's a magnet for malfeasance, and I'd be so happy if we did term limits. Candace, I'll give you the last word.
That I would have liked to have seen happen last night, and the town hall people, the people who were there asking the questions, some undecided, some for Biden, some supporting our president. The people at the town hall were fine. When she started all the, I don't know what you call it, her little debate thing, attack, I wished he had stopped her right then and said, I'm here to answer the questions that the people have for me. That's what I came for. And
I just think, to your point, Candace, I think he's so punch drunk. I think he's so fed up that, to your point, he's just built for the brawl.
Yeah.
Right? So, it would have been easier going, that's not a question that means anything to the American people. I'm here.
Right.
This is a town hall.
Anything that
why don't we cut your mic?
Wasn't of any value. It's
absolutely agreed.
Been yapping about for 3.5 years. There was no the stuff she was attacking him on had no value whatsoever. And
not to you and me.
I wouldn't have agreed to that. I would have agreed to answer questions. To take questions from the people at the town hall. That's how it should have went down. But she just made it her show. I'm
with you. And it could have been, Candace,
disgusting.
that's what they had intended to do, because they had been taking so much flack about going up against ABC. Maybe they were like, look, here's a way that we'll get some credibility back. I don't know. Candace, thank you so very much. And thank you so very much for trying multiple times to call. And thank you. You have been with me since way back before, my 4th, long before my 5th, even my 4th brain surgery. So thank you so very much. It's always great to see your picture pop up in the feed. And thank you for always calling in. Thank you.
Anytime you want to come back this way.
I will for sure. Candace, thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
All right. So, Candace, thank you so very much. Dana, thank you for calling. And let me just spend the last minute here. Thank you for all the good people. That is the people watching over on YouTube. Of course, when I say good people, I'm not talking about Google. What am I insane? Don't answer that. Thanks to everyone over at Spitter, even though we fight more than we get along. Thank you to all my friends here at Facebook. The numbers continue to grow, and that's not because of me, it's because of you. Thank you so very much. And if you find it within you to share the message of Mortal Up, even though we're not going to get to it this evening, I super appreciate it. Thank you for all your support, all these episodes. Now, 523, good golly. We'll be moving this Monday, starting Monday. We'll be moving to 12 Eastern, and we're going up against some big guns. That's just the way I like it. I like the competition. I like being outgunned, outmanned, outwomaned. So I'm not mansplaining. I love being outclassed and the uphill battle that always comes along with that. So thank you very much. Thank you to our sponsors, Counterpunch Media for sure, as well as Certifiable Brilliance. And thank you, as always, to Wayne for everything that he does. We'll be posting pictures, I'm told, on Monday. We'll be posting pictures as to what his studio looks like there, my little hole in the wall looks like here. We'll be getting that all, and we hope to see you this coming Monday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Until then, have an absolutely fantastic weekend. I super appreciate. It's just an honor to have your support. Thank you so very much, and have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to the Brian Brawdy Show. Until next time, get out there and mortal up.